Hello guys, welcome to the next tutorial video on Java programming for beginners. In the last video, we have seen how to download and install Visual Studio Code on our device, and also the Java pack that we will be using to write our code. Additionally, we also have seen how to create a file using the Java extension that will be used to write our code, save it, and store it. But in this video, we will start writing our first program in Java. We will also learn some rules and guidelines for how to write Java programs. So let's jump right in. So we're going to start by opening Visual Studio Code. After that, you're either going to create a new file or open a file, but for the people who have already seen the last video, you don't need to create a new file because we already did. But if you didn't, go and watch the last video in order to understand how to create a file using the Java extension. So for the people who already did, click Open File and type test. So it's going to bring this test.java, then open it. Yeah, so basically, this is what it looks. First thing we're going to do is create a class. A class is basically a blueprint for everything we're going to write in our program. And to create a class, we're going to write public class, then name it as the name should be the same as the file name, which is taste.java. As you can see right here, our file name is taste.java. So our class name, public class, should be test. For example, if our file name was helloworld.java, our class name will be public class hello world. Okay, so after that, we're going to create a domain for our class. In order to do that, we're going to use curly braces. So between this curly braces, whatever we're going to write in between them is going to be part of our class. So the next step is creating a method. In order to create a method, we're going to write public static void main, then use normal braces, and then curly braces just to create a domain for our method, the same as we created for our class. In our brace, we're going to type string and args, which is an abbreviation for arguments. This is basically a placeholder for the information that we're going to put in our domain for our main method. So one thing you should know is a Java program needs at least one class and one main method. Without it, it's not going to compile. So after that, we're going to write a simple print statement. In order to write a print statement, we're going to type system.out.println, then use the normal brace, and we're going to type whatever we want to print on our terminal. So let's type hello you, for example, and that's what I want to print. And then in order to finish this line of code, we're going to use semicolon in order to show that our line of code is done and it can be executed. Don't forget to use capital word or capital letter S right here. And without it, it's not going to compile. Oh, and I almost forgot that we need to put a square bracket right beside the string, and then should this button should come up, and we can run our program. So after we run, it should print hello you right here because we use the print statement right here. System is basically a built-in Java class that have some useful tools. Out is short for output, and println basically means print line. So this line of code basically will print the specified thing that we put in the brace along with creating a new line. If we don't want to create a new line, we just can remove ln and just make it only print. So if we run this again, it should be the same thing right here. But let me add another print statement and show you what happens if we don't use print ln. So if I type system dot out dot print and say, how are you? And finish it with a semicolon. Then run it again. You can see here, it says, hello you and how are you are on the same line. So it didn't create a new line. So they're basically on the same line. But if I make this ln and run this again, it should print hello you and how are you in different lines, because after I run this, it should type hello you, or it should output hello you, and also create a new line for the next line of code. The other thing we're going to talk about in this video are comments. Comments are just basically readable explanations that are wrote by you for other peoples to understand easily what you're trying to accomplish when you write some line of code. For example, if I write this comment, that is used for explain this line of code, which is system.out.println, which is going to print a statement. And we can explain that using a comment. You also need to know that a comment is totally ignored by our compiler. That basically means it is not executed. So you really don't got to worry about any syntax problems that you might have. So if I run this, you can see here that there is no problem compiling this program. So we also use this slash, two slashes, to write only a single line of code, or comment, my bad. But if we want to write a multiple line of comment, we're going to use slash with a star. Then it should create basically a domain, and between those domain, you can write whatever you want, whatever comment you want. So it's a multi-line comment. So if I run this, still is going to be okay. Compiling this, there's no problem with it. Okay, this is the end for the second video. See you on the next one.